The Rockets finally showed up to this series, but it is looking like it is going to be too little, too late. Rockets finally had a good shooting game, and they ran the Lakers off the floor because of it. This was actually the closest that the possession battle has been all series, but it was still a blowout win, which just shows how Houston could have been performing had they been shooting the ball better games 1 through 3. In those games, they dominated the possession battle, but their percentages just were not there, and so they weren't able to capitalize on that. The margins were much tighter for Houston tonight, but they just shot the ball better, and so they came away with a massive win, which does speak to the potential this Houston team had injuries not ravaged them this season. Had this been a Game 3 win for Houston with another home game ahead of them to continue that momentum, I would still be giving them a shot in this matchup. But the Lakers simply are not going to lose 4 in a row, especially with 2 chances to close it out at home, even if it does somehow get to 7. LA is not going to be the first team to blow a 3-0 lead in the playoffs. So although the Rockets did a good job tonight of avoiding the sweep, I still do not expect to see this series continue for much longer. One concern for the Lakers was the only consistent offense for them tonight was DeAndre Ayton, who was in the midst of his best game all series before being ejected. The shot making just was not there for LA from 3 especially, and even though they shot 50% from the floor, they never really had anything going on offense. That is potentially going to be an issue if Houston is able to have another good shooting night. It is critical for LA that they lock back in on defense and really force tough looks on Houston, because if Houston can shoot it efficiently, they're always going to be winning the possession battle against this LA team, and they absolutely do not want to be getting into a shootout with the Rockets. With those extra possessions, if the Rockets can keep having efficient games, they do stand a chance of upsetting LA, but again, they would have to do it 3 more times in a row, 2 of those on LA's home floor to advance in this series, so I simply don't see it happening. LA is going to have at least 1 game where they're able to shut Houston down offensively. The Lakers could have closed it out tonight, but honestly, we're due for a bad game after exceeding expectations for 3 straight games. It never really felt like they were in this one with all the turnovers they had and the sloppy play that we saw right from the tip. It simply wasn't meant to be today. It would have been nice for the Lakers to close out in 4, completely clean sweep, and get lots of time to rest up before their matchup with OKC. But I still do think that this one is going to be over in 5. If and when Houston is dispatched, I'm expecting to see Ime Udoka fired. This simply isn't where the Rockets were expecting or hoping to be after pushing all their chips in to acquire KD this past offseason. I do still believe that this core has promise, but Ime really has not been able to tap into that potential come playoff time. And with KD's years left being limited, it is crucial for Houston that they not waste any of them. So I am anticipating a new coach being brought in to try to get this Rockets team to where they think they should be, while they can still get valuable years out of KD. The Lakers aren't likely to stand much chance against OKC, even if Luka is able to come back, even if J-Dub remains out for the majority of that series. I still do think that the advantage is pretty heavily in OKC's court, especially after how the season series ended with that blowout loss for LA. But the sooner the Lakers can advance, the more rest they'll get, which is going to be their best chance of putting up a fight for at least long enough to maybe get Luka back, and AR should be back for round 2, barring any setbacks to his recovery. So it is critical for the Lakers that they finish up this series with Houston as soon as possible. I do have this one ending in 5 back home in LA.